What is one of the key foundational principles that is draining your energy right now? We're going to explore this today in this video, and we're going to explore the contents of your mind. There are some really interesting nuances when it comes to what's going on within your mind that we can explore right now. When it comes to what's going on with your mind and feeling drained from mental chatter, it's really important to start becoming aware more so of what is going on within your mind and what is going on with the quality of thoughts within your mind. What is the quality, frequency, and vibration? We can bring in the map of consciousness from David Hawkins because that helps explore this facet and understanding of the mind in a much easier, simple fashion. The map of consciousness breaks out a vibrational frequency map of where we're at any given moment, determined on our emotional state. And from that emotional feeling state will determine the thought radio station that we are tuned into right now. It appears to be the lower we are on the map of consciousness, the more thoughts we have. There is a dividing line which is separated and halved by the word courage. When we're below courage, we're under the number 200. It's a really critical line because when we're under the critical line, we are in an energy field which isn't supportive of life, which is energy draining. Really important nuances and subtleties going on here. Once we step over the line with what's going on inwardly, when I say step over the line, I'm not talking physically, I'm talking energetically. We step into the realm and paradigm of life supporting. So that's why it's really important to break this down, because if there's a lot going on in the mind, we're going to be draining our energy. Absolutely. But we can change what's in our mind. We can change the quality of what is going on within our mind. When we're at the bottom of the table, and let's say we're predominantly tuned into the vibration of fear, anger, apathy, grief, that is setting our vibrational frequency straight away. But then we have thoughts which are associated with those emotions. We're tuned in to the frequency, we're tuned into the radio station which accompanies those emotions. So each thought that we get bombarded with is coming in with a low frequency and we're getting hit with it. Bum, bum, bum. And we can think how many tens of thousands of thoughts within even a 1 hour time span, very predominantly on an unconscious basis. So you can already see how and why we're feeling drained from the content of the mind due to the multiple low vibrational frequencies that we're tuned into. And I spoke previously on yesterday's video about our past, and this is a massive one. Like, our past is massively influencing this moment, what I'm talking about right now. So when it comes down to sharpening our awareness, it comes down to the beautiful journey of trying to decrease the amount of quantity that is in our mind. And that involves sharpening our sense and state of awareness within the now moment. The more we train ourselves to recognize the moment that we are thinking, we are already winning. We are already breaking the circuit of what's going on. Because predominantly, I would say, David Hawkins gave an actual high percentage of like about 85% of the time, we're actually walking around in an unconscious state. So you've got to be thinking, if we're in an unconscious state, we're just letting ourselves loose within the realms of being unconscious, but without any filter whatsoever. So we have everything, we have those low vibrational frequencies going on with like multitudes of thoughts coming into us, being attracted to us. So the journey really begins with consciously catching our mind and being aware of when we are thinking and what we are thinking in the moment. Because like I say, a good analogy is we're breaking that circuit. The more we recognize and become aware of catching our mind, when we do, the more empowered we are. Once we've started to develop that sense of awareness, in the moment awareness of presence, and it's a gradient process, guys. It's going to be frustrating in the beginning. It's going to be this is going to be a frustrating journey, 100%. I'm saying that with certainty because I have lived and breathed this process, 100%. Once we start to decrease the quantity of what's going on, we'll become more conscious and aware of in the moment, we can start applying. That's when we can start really nurturing affirmation, because then we come down into not only the quantity of the mind, but we come into the quality. The perfect blend of what's going on within your mind right now is to decrease the quantity and increase the quality. Decrease the quantity and increase the frequency and vibration of what's going on in your mind. That's when we start to go into life affirming. That's when we step into and apply thoughts and tune into the frequency of thoughts of forgiveness, of acceptance, of neutrality, of love, of joy and peace. This is over the middle line. This is when we've stepped into empowerment. Below the line, disempowerment, energy draining. Above the line, empowering, life supportive. So we can already feel, once we make that change of becoming aware and processing through and letting go of those negative frequency and vibrations, and it's a gradient process, guys. It's a journey of letting go, and we start processing into and working our way up and making these changes within when it comes to where we are and sharpening our discipline of where we are in the moment. And that's the big key. It's a journey of discipline inwardly, which is powered by your will of moving forward. You are powered by, there's a momentum happening here, which is actually autonomous, but we won't go into that right now. There's this beautiful autonomous nature of what's going on. So we start stepping into, and we start to actually mold and fabric that beautiful formula of decreasing what's going on in the mind, decreasing the quantity, because we're starting to at least recognize what's going on. And then we consciously start to shift and tune into thoughts which come from a high vibrational frequency. When we use the word I am abundant, I am empowered. And if you mix these words in with nervous system practices, let's say, for example, breath work, and you start to tune into and change the feeling tone and emotion which is going on within your nervous system, you'll naturally change the thoughts which you're going to be attracted to, or what radio station you're going to be tuned into. Because it appears to be the further we go up when it comes to the scale of consciousness, the natural consequence and byproduct seems to be the quantity of what's on in the mind does come down. There isn't such a thing. Mental chatter becomes less and less, and it becomes much more of an intentional journey. There's a really deep sense of awareness. There's a deep sense of intention which happens and unfolds within the now moment. This is when you'll start to see changes in your energy, when you start to work inwardly like this, with sharpening your compass of where your awareness is focused in the now moment, and what thoughts you're choosing to dwell in and tune into. It can be as simple as saying you see a thought come in and that doesn't feel right. you'll start to notice as well, this is a good point, that you'll start to notice what each individual thought feels like. Does this make me feel good or does it not? And you'll have your own subjective journey with what feels good and what doesn't. And it becomes more and more subtle. When we're deep in the depths of fight or flight, mental chatter, we don't feel good at all. That goes without saying. But once we go into this deep sense of resolution with the intention to start processing what's going on within, it'll become more and more obvious to even on more subtler levels what doesn't feel good. You'll get one thought come in, it could like, that doesn't feel good. You'll just know deep within that that's not what I want right now, and you'll supplement it for something else which does feel good. And you'll sharpen your state of awareness so much so that you'll be able to catch things quicker and quicker and quicker. And it's through this process that you'll notice that you'll go from this feeling de-energized and sapped from what's going on within your mind to actually coming away from an intentional affirmation session feeling extremely energized. Whether you say them out loud or whether you say them silently, a real big shift in that life affirming, life supporting energy that you'll just know because you'll feel it on a really, really deep level. So go away, start to explore, start to write down, find a diary, find a journal where you can start expressing this and really start to understand what is going on within your mind. Make it fun, make it playful, make it lighthearted, because it is a joyful journey. There are moments of frustration, and there's gonna be frustration, 100%. But it's all part of the process. It's all part of you now being called into this stage of development with where you are at right now. Sending you so much love, my friends. Loved today's subject very much, very, very much. Yeah, I'm laughing and being playful because I resonate, because I'm partly reflecting on my own process. But this is you stepping into your power, your purpose, your life force, your energy. And I'm really, really excited for you. Sending you so much love, my friends, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.